Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Haxen. Today's video we are shooting the brand new Mathews Phase 4 33. First things first, right off the bat, it looks pretty sick. So I'm stoked to put some arrows downrange out of this thing, see how it feels, see how it shoots, check out the new bridge lock stabilizer and how that kind of functions similar to bridge lock sight. So excited to mess with it. If you want to see my thoughts and opinion about Phase 4 33, go ahead and stay tuned. First up is just the balance of the bow. I do have that front stabilizer in. Let's go ahead and take that out because I just want to see what it feels like with the bare bow. See how it balances. Literally, I feel like that's got a really solid base on it. I'm going to put this bridge lock stabilizer back in. And the usability of that bridge lock stabilizer, it's pretty sweet to be able to adjust kind of the length. You can kind of customize per roughly like ½ inch, almost three, maybe up to 3/4 inch per little notch on that dovetail. Let's draw this thing back. It is set up with, let's see, 65-pound H mods. I believe that's close to 29.5 inch draw. Let's draw this thing back, see how it feels. And it is at 65 pounds. Okay, it's a little bit short, so I'd assume it's 28-inch draw, something like that. But, okay, let's focus in on that draw. I kind of noticed it dumped into the back wall kind of quick. I mean, it is the same mods and cams as your V3X, but since it is short for me, I expected it to be a little bit longer the first time. It was a little bit better that time. Wall, or back wall, is pretty solid. It definitely doesn't want to jump forward unless I let it. It feels pretty good there. Okay. String angle is money. Let's go ahead and shoot this thing. That pin's settling pretty well. Thing's pretty dead in the hand. I'm not noticing any at all. Hand vibration, let's try that again. Back walls, or I mean the dump into the valley is not my favorite. I feel like it is a little bit aggressive into just dumping into the back wall. But the shot itself, like, I mean, Mathews has always been pretty solid as far as after the shot goes, bow being really dampened. The new 8 limbs basically. Now the limbs are split in half on each limb. So right there, that is 4 different limbs. I get the idea. I guess the only reservations I have are they're skinny. Are they going to split at all? Is it going to be easier for them to break? If they do break, if something happens, like instead of 2 limbs on the top, 2 limbs on the bottom, now it's 8 limbs or 4 limbs if the top, you know, something happens to the top. So a little bit more expensive if something happens, but it's a cool idea. I smacked my own arrow there. Shooting it feels pretty good. Balance with that stabilizer is pretty solid. Let's go ahead and put that stabilizer in a little bit. So it's as easy as just turning this little 3-prong dial. And I mean, you can go back. I probably wouldn't go further back than that if you want a really short, stubby guy right there. That brings your balance a lot more in, a lot less tip forward, which is kind of cool, and it makes it easy to slide that in, just like this sight has always been with the V3X when you're putting it in the case. Let's see how this balance feels. I feel like I liked it a little bit more when it was out further, at least for me. But it's literally just that simple. Slide out. Right there. I mean, let's hit it without my release on. It's solid. Like, it's not really going to go anywhere at all. And being able to, let's see, right here is an Allen. You can take off the end piece, add or subtract weights. Here they just kind of slide in and out of each other, which is kind of sweet. But I mean, overall it's pretty sweet bow. Let's shoot it again. I mean, it feels really similar to that V3X, based on the same platform, so might be more dead in the hand, just having that extra rubber dampening system there in the limbs, and then obviously having a stabilizer on there helps a little bit. But I mean, overall, my first impression of Phase 4 is that it's a pretty solid bow, and I am impressed with it. I don't necessarily think it's anything like revolutionary, but pretty solid bow. I mean, if I was to be on the market for a bow today, I would definitely consider buying the Phase 4. I mean, I've shot a couple bows this year. I mean, not a bunch of them have been out other than Bowtech, but for Mathews, I mean, it's a sweet concept. I do really like the stabilizer and how you can do the same thing on a rear stabilizer. I do like the concept. The only thing I'm not the biggest fan of is that it's specific to this bow and only this bow. So if you buy this, it's probably 150 bucks for a stabilizer, if not more. You can only use it on the Phase 4. And I switch back and forth with a bunch of different bows, and so that's one thing that is kind of a big deal for me. But anyway, yeah, I would get down to your nearest Mathews dealer, give it a shot, see what it feels like to you in your hand. I'd be curious to see what it feels like with the side plates rather than the rubber grip. I'm kind of a side plate guy when it comes to Mathews, that's for sure. But well, that's gonna be my review of the Hoyt, oh my gosh. That's gonna be the wrap up for the Mathews Phase 4 33. Pretty solid bow. If you haven't already heard of the giveaway I am doing, I'm giving away 2 bows of your choice, one for yourself and one to give to somebody that's blessed you in your life, first responder, veteran, kind of get them, and then we're donating $5,000 to a cause to help veterans be able to get out and do some hunting and archery stuff. So the way you enter into that, there's only going to be max 350 entries on that. It used to be 500, but I'm dropping that down to 350. I've got a couple more to sell. It is by purchasing a flag on my website, haxenhunt.com. Every flag you purchase is an entry in to win. So basically about a $10,000 winning there. So get entered into that, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate all the support you guys do show. Big thanks to Terry here at TNT Archery in St. George, Utah for letting me come on in and shoot the new Mathews Phase 4. Really stoked to be able to get my hands on it so soon. And anyway, we'll catch you guys next time.